Well, YouTube, Tough Site here, and for some reason, my alert system on my phone, I thought it would be on, but it isn't. But downloading news break and talking in the previous videos about Amber Alerts not coming up, and I've only seen like 5 in the past 2 to 3 years. One has came up, but this one is found to be safe. But there's unanswered questions, right? That seem to need to be, answered. But I can understand in some situations how this issue is established, but still, right, it's gonna be unanswered unless they get some questions. Or I'm sure they're doing the proper, investigation on it, but if nothing comes out of this, boy, sorry for this phone being straight up. Like I say, this is one of them articles that the phone is not allowed to go sideways, or the article itself don't like to go sideways. I hate that. But anyways, there was a 3-year-old girl abducted from Maywood, I believe it was Illinois. And I'm sure that's around near Chicago, Illinois. Probably the outskirts. But this is one of these cases that the girl was taken and abducted by a family member, and the family member is the mother. But she does not have custody of the girl. So, with that being said, and sometimes when these cases happen in this way, of course you're getting someone that lost their rights for whatever reason, but yet they still gave birth to that kid. They can have it. They can do whatever they want with it. But if you're in an unstable world and an unstable life, unfortunately you don't get to have your rights. I think that's all that it says. I hope I tap on... Oh, here it is. During a Department of Children and Family Services visitation, found safe court of Maywood police investigation showed that the suspect, their mother, was dropped off by a ride-share driver at her home in LaGrange. 30 from Maywood to the mother's home, where she was found cuddling the girl in bed. So the girl was taken to the hospital, checked up. Abduct the girl. Huh. Now these cases, at first I was quickly find the girl. These are the cases that, right, yeah, that ain't so bad in ways. Like I say, if it's all depends what that person and what their rights are, why they're taken from that person. But if this was an unknown person, sometimes it takes how long it's going to take for this case to be solved type thing. So, I mean, that does kind of strike me odd. Because of visitation rights and everything that was established. They knew. But what really irritates me is the lists that I've gone over so far in 4 volumes of missing kids. No, I mean, this makes my point clear. This makes my point clear. What, does Amber Alert really do. Because unless you have a license plate or a visitation right visit, going through the custody, the child services protection, you have nothing. And I mean, there should be a better law besides Amber Alerts. Because I only see, and this makes my point also, when Amber Alerts are put out there, they only seem to be put out when they know information. Have information, license plate, child, services protection, custody, visitation rates. There's never an Amber Alert when a kid goes missing and the person calls it in, and you gotta wait the 24-hour jiggy crap BS stupid law. And I don't care what anybody says. That needs to be changed. Literally. I literally say it needs to be changed. Because especially if you got a kid that you know is not that type of kid. And who knows their kid better than any law enforcement, anybody, than the parents. Responsible parents. Now, I'm not saying that if a kid's, a troubled kid, they got troubled parents, not to look for them. But them are the ones that make it just look bad, and you can't do nothing for them. But the responsible parents, the ones that are trying and struggling freaking harder than life, to just want to get their kid back. And these are the kids that fall victim because these are the ones that are, how can you say, just not street smart ready. That's the best way I can say it. And then there's a lot of kids, when you look at the pictures of the kids that are missing, they look like, you can't, don't get me wrong. There are some kids that look innocent but are not. And you can pinpoint out sometimes when they are and when they're not. But a lot of the kids that have been abducted that I've done so far that I can see, and I have seen kids in there that look like they have some real bad issues though, and, are not savable. But the ones that are, do not get this Amber Alert put out soon enough. And that leads me to the whole point of this video is, what does Amber Alert really do? Because they have information. If they do not have information, they don't search or put it up. I don't get that. It's just... So, all in all, there needs to be some laws put in place and looked at. And changed. Because, as you can see in this story, it's grateful the girl got brought back. But the Amber Alert was issued. And I don't see no real danger to anything happening to this kid, besides the loss of a mother's life, in the custody of her kid. And it seemed like all she wanted to do was, be with her without all the visitations and state BS. Because don't get me wrong, states have failed kids. Look at baby Pete. And I don't recommend, I could say, I would tell people to look into baby Pete. Or even baby Doe. A girl that was missing. And I did not, personally know her mother, but I knew her mother. And she went off missing without an Amber Alert. The local towns did their reports, but the way the case went, and the mother is out of jail, mind you, that's where laws should be put in place. Last person known with child. And in this case, where this woman was a consistent drug user and brought in forth some man that was very unsafe, that woman should be sitting the rest of her life in jail for letting her boyfriend, so-called her boyfriend at the time, and she said he did it, but he said she did it. There's the proof right there to convict either one of them. They both should be sitting life in jail, but that girl got out, and she is literally now roaming the streets. And mind you, just as soon as she got out, not even 2 or 3 months down the road, she was back in the news for using drugs again. Getting caught with drugs. So what the F does that tell you? Unbelievable. And the kid's dead. Another image lost in time. And it's sad. Just like Kaylee Anthony, another lost soul. The mother took 30 days to turn her daughter in missing. Driving around in the back of a car. All the proof was there. The evidence was there. And she now, too, walks the street. Jeremiah Oliver. His mother walks the streets. Unbelievable. So, I mean, sometimes I think this Amber Alert only gets put up, I think, and I've seen so far, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, only when there's information. When there's no information, just like Iowa, they just throw out the age and no picture. Oh, man. But gratefully the kid's put back to where she belongs, and hopefully, I'm sure this ain't never going to happen again, but only makes you wonder because, hey, on that DCF watch, Child Care State Watch, this woman still was to go under their noses. And it only goes to show how safe that system really is. It isn't. Excuse me. It only goes to show because there's been a lot of kids that have lost their lives to them state protection services, not only by giving them back to parents, but being put in their place of their care too, and being sent to their adoption or foster care people that they have. But it's sick and it's never ending. Till the next video, be safe, take care, and think about it on all this democracy BS and state BS. Out.